So there are many books available in the market related to Indian polity and constitution. How do you distinguish this particular book among other books?
See, there are books that are for starting conversations. There are books for beginning a process of analysis and obviously arriving at some conclusion after that analysis. But there are books about bare facts where there is some analysis, because you can't just it's not a mathematical table that you're producing. You're actually producing facts that may have a subjective element. They may have an element of analysis, but the core area is facts. So what is the law on equality, right? There has to be a core area of what equality means. But people will continue to disagree about equality till the cows come home. And therefore, you invite someone to get into that discussion, they will end up studying only one dimension or two dimensions of equality and not be ready for writing a competitive exam. A competitive exam means there'll be 200 factual matrices that they must know, they must be familiar with. And the factual matrix may have some element of analysis, may have some element also of disagreement, etc., but you've got to get to the core, and core on which it will be very difficult for anyone to say that this is wrong, this can be looked at in a different way. That core is what should be made available. So where do you draw the lowest common denominator in terms of factually correct proposition about law and the constitution? You can build on that at the next stage when you've become a successful candidate, and then you've become a civil servant, or beyond civil service you've gone into something. You can build on that knowledge, but that's the base knowledge without which there's no beginning. So it's like looking at a painting. You need to know how you get colors to interface, and then you can play around with those colors any amount. But the basic color, what do you do to achieve a basic shade? Which color do you mix red with yellow to get a particular shade? That is something you must be strong on. So it's the fundamentals that you must get right, and on that fundamentals you can then build a huge edifice, etc. But that's not the purpose of a competitive exam. Competitive exam touches essentially on facts, and your fundamental ability to analyze facts and present them in a manner which are persuasive and that a person can accept. To make it as objective as possible, not subjective, but yet leaving enough leeway so that you don't become a machine. You're not a computer answering, you're a human being answering, because ultimately what they're looking for are good human beings who would make good leaders of our institutions.
Okay, great, sir. So the message is that the book is focusing on the facts, building basic concepts, making your fundamentals strong.
Absolutely.
That is what
Absolutely.
Are you also thinking on the same lines? What is your opinion, Gaurav?
He has to.
He has to.
We've done it together. We've done it together.
We're all looking to the whole idea of presenting a book based very hard on facts is to, as sir mentioned, to be able to empower a person to think independently from the point of view of creating civil servants. Not just creating civil servants, you have to be an informed citizen in order to be a functional cog in a big machine that is the whole democratic functioning of India.